All right, we're back. We're on page 94 of math analysis, and we are going to now find the double angle formula for tangent. We just found the sum and difference formulas for tangent. We found the half angle formulas for sine and cosine. We found a lot of stuff. This is the 14th formula. And so when we know this, we will know all 14 of them. Got to memorize them. If you have them memorized, you can use them. If you don't have them memorized, all the problems we do are just going to look impossible. So make sure you get on that kind of immediately. I find that just saying them over and over again is really useful. And they kind of they're a little sing-songy. Like, they're not the worst. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine, cosine, cosine, sine, sine. It's not that bad. All right, so tangent. We're going to start off same as we've done the other ones. Do the tan of A plus B. We know is tan A plus tan B over 1 minus tan A tan B. And so we know that because we memorized it. We derived it, but you don't want to be doing that every time. Just memorize it. I mean, the tangents are a little less important. So memorize them while you need them, and then be able to get them when you need them. But you can always do sine over cosine, I guess. I don't know why I'm trying to talk you out of this, but I just don't find myself, outside of this set of notes, I don't find myself using these all that often. Whereas the other ones pretty much all come up kind of frequently. So same as last time, same as any time we're doing the tan. The something of 2a, you always just do the sum formula and replace, and then you're going to end up with 2 tan a. So it's kind of a neat looking formula. 1 minus tan squared of a. So that is it. That's our 14th formula. It's a big moment. You now know or have seen all 14 formulas. You got to have them memorized. And now let's see if we can do a problem where we actually use them. So here's the problem. We are given that sine is negative. So this is going to be the bane of your existence, basically. Sine is negative 3/5 and in quadrant 4. So we got to make sure that we draw that correctly. Otherwise, a lot of our signs, S-I-G-N-S, are going to be off, and we do not want that. And then we're also told that cotan of y is 5/12, and y is in quadrant 3. So again, we got to be really careful when we draw those. Step 1 in these is always draw your triangles and make sure you draw them correctly. So look it over a couple times. So here, quadrant 4. Okay, so sine is negative 3/5. So negative 3, 5, and 4. So this is for x. And then for y, I need quadrant 3, so maybe draw it correctly. Oh gosh, there. That was really hard. Here and then here. Okay, so cotangent. Tangent is 12/5, but this is quadrant 3, so tangent's positive, but sine and cosine are negative, so we got to get that right. Negative 12, negative 5, and 13. Okay, and this will be for y. So what's good about this, we can just use these to read off the things that we need. And that's why we kind of do it the way we do it. So for example, I'm going to find the sine of x plus y. So start off by writing it out. Sine of x plus y. Sine x cosine y plus cosine x sine y. All right, and then I know that the sine of x plus y, I'm going to go to my triangles, and I'm going to read these things off. So I need the sine of x, right? So you go to x, sine is negative 3/5. So we're going to put that in. So quantity negative 3/5 times cosine of y. So we go up here, cosine, adjacent, hypotenuse, negative 5/13, plus cosine of x. So we go back over here, adjacent, hypotenuse, 4/5. And then sine of y, we go back, it's opposite, hypotenuse, negative 12/13. Negative 12. So when you do these problems, what I want to see, because I definitely want to see that you have written out your formula, right? That's step 1. Then the next thing that I want to see is I want to see that you've got your ratios written in, and make sure that you're really clear about it, right? Because this This is the key to partial credit in the event that you're going to be wrong, right? Like, show me that you had the formula right. Check. Show me that you substituted in correctly. Okay. And then the last step is going to be actually simplifying this. And this could go wrong. But when this does, this is like small potatoes. So 15 minus 48 over 65. So negative 33 over 65. All right. And we got it. So what are we doing? Oh, there's like a place to summarize our answers. Sine of x plus y. I've gotten negative 33 over 65. Okay. So now I need to find the cosine of x minus y. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to first write down our formula. So cosine of x minus y is going to be cosine, and then plus sine, sine. So we write down the formula, we make sure that's correct. Then we need to substitute. So the cosine of x is 4/5. So we're going to go equals quantity 4/5. Now the cosine of y is going to be negative 5/13. So we put that in. Then it's plus the sine of y. Sine of what? Sine of x. Yeah, sine of x is negative 5/3. Nope, negative 3/5. And then the sine of y is going to be negative 12/13. So it's all substitution at this point, and you just want to make sure you don't mess that up. And then you can also like look and just make sure that you have like nice corresponding ratios, right? Like I know that 4/5 and 3/5 should go together. The pluses and minuses, you got to look at your triangle and make sure that you're doing the right thing. But I know that like 5/13 and 12/13, because of Pythagorean triples, I know those should go together. So, I mean, I'm feeling like this has a really good chance of being right. And this is negative 20 plus 36 over 65. So I get 16 over 65. We'll actually check these at the end. So that's cosine of x minus y. 16 over 65. All right, cosine of x minus y. Now, think about the cosine of y minus x. Smarter, not harder, right? So here, the cosine of y minus x, that feels really similar to the cosine of x minus y. So I'm going to say that's the cosine of the negative of x minus y. Right, take a negative out of everything that's inside the parentheses, and you get the negative quantity x minus y. Cosine's an even function, though. So this actually should be equal to the cosine of x minus y. Even functions kill that negative. So this should also be 16 over 65. What's good about this is that we could use our previous answer. What's bad about this is if our previous answer was wrong, we just guaranteed ourselves another wrong answer. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. I don't know, we'll find out. So tangent of x plus y. If I already knew the cosine of x plus y, I would just divide those numbers. I don't know it though, so I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? It might be faster to find the cosine of x plus y and then divide. I'm gonna do that. No, I'm gonna use the tangent formula because, you know, we should. All right, fine. Tangent of x plus y is tangent x plus tangent y over 1 minus tangent x tangent y. Now we just got to go hunting. All right, so tangent of x is opposite over adjacent. It's negative 3/4. Negative 3/4 plus the tangent of y. Tangent of y is opposite over adjacent, 12/5. We were kind of given that. I mean, we're given cotangent, but, you know, 12/5 over 1 minus. So there's less to find, I guess, because you use tan x and tan y twice. I don't know. Is that like super useful? Not really. All right, let's see. So this is going to be negative 15 plus 48. That's over 20, but the denominator is already over 20. So I'm going to simplify like several steps at a time. If you're not sure, just work it out on paper. You'll see that this should be equivalent. 20 plus 36. So I get 33 over 56. So 33 over 56. We'll see when we check it. Now, in some weird way, well, not a super weird way, we like kind of now know, because we know sine of x plus y and tan of x plus y, and we know that tangent is sine over cosine. We could use that to find the cosine of x plus y if we needed to, which we don't, but if we did, we could. I'm going to find sine of 2x and then cosine of 2y. So sine of 2x, I'm having trouble fitting this stuff. Where am I supposed to do this? I don't really know. Like, ideally, you know what I'm going to do? This is, I know you don't have this option, but I don't know if I care about that. I'm going to move this over here. Move this up here. And now I have like a little more space. So I need sine of 2x. Sine of 2x. Two random dots just like appeared. Ah, they're everywhere. What is this? I don't really know what's happening. There are dots everywhere. I hope they're actually showing up on the video too, and I don't just sound like a crazy person, but you know, make enough videos and you're gonna sound crazy at some point. All right, from our triangle, sine of x is this over this, and then cosine is this over this, so negative 3/5, negative 3/5, positive 4/5. So we get negative 24 over 25, which means that 2 times x is super close to 3 pi over 2. Maybe. I mean, it's like super close to something coterminal to 3 pi over 2 because the sine of 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. And we're very close to negative 1 here, which doesn't help much, but I always think it's interesting to think of that. And then cosine of 2y. And then I will show you how to check these. And then we'll be done with this page. So this cosine of 2y, I'm going to go with I guess I'll just do cosine squared minus sine squared. It doesn't matter what you pick, you'll get the same answer. So here, cosine is negative 5 over 13, and sine is negative 12 over 13. So, ooh, got to square some stuff. This will be, I don't remember what I said, negative 5 over 13 squared minus negative 12 over 13. So it's like 5, 12, 13. So, you know, you kind of already know that. So this will be 25 minus 144 over 169. Negative 119, I guess. Negative 119 over 169. I feel like this app wants me to be done for the day because it's giving me a lot of trouble here. Negative 24 over 25. And negative 119 over 169. All right, we will see how we did by using the calculator. So here we go. This is a big deal. Like, you got to be able to do this. So let's think about it. I'll start a new document with that. All right, so we know that sine is in quadrant 4 and that sine of x is negative 3/5. So we're in quadrant 4, sine is negative 3/5. I'm going to say that x is 2 pi minus the arc sine of 3/5. That's what x should be. I'm going to say, so y is in quadrant 3, so I'll do pi plus, and then cotan we're given, so I'll do arc cotan of 5/12. All right, now I'm just going to ask the calculator, what's the cosine of x minus y? And it gives us what we got. What is, maybe I should go in order, sine of x plus y is what we got. Cosine of x minus y, oh, we just did, but I'm doing it again. Is that cosine of y minus x, it's going to be the same. Tangent of x plus y, got it. Sine of 2x and cosine of 2y. All right, we got them all. Nice. All right, so I'm going to go back to the notes. And you should always be checking like that. It's a really good skill to have. Because, you know, if you ever really, really, really needed to do these, you would probably be using a calculator. Like really as in, I don't know, you're walking down the street and somebody's like, find the sine of x plus y. And you happen to have a calculator. You'd probably use your calculator for that. I don't know. But we got to be able to do them by hand. Organization is the key. Make sure you're writing your formula, subbing in, and then doing your calculations. Don't try to do the calculations on the fly, because then if you're wrong, that's a problem. So I'm going to stop the video here, come back, finish this page, do some of the next page. I will see you there.